talk about fitting the blind. First thing you need to do once you've got the blind from us is take it out of the box. That helps. You'll need some scissors to take it out of the plastic packaging, and then take the blind. If it's a recessed fit blind, i.e. one that fits into the window, first thing you can do is just check it fits snugly in the window frame itself. Okay, which this does. Okay, so that's a good start. So we're going to fit this blind in the window here, and that'll cover the whole length of that window. So that's the blind. We'll put that to one side for the start, and we'll look at the fittings. With the blind, you'll get a couple of fittings. If it's a recessed fit, you'll get two brackets like this. Okay, they go in each corner at the top, and you'll get 4 screws. Okay, and they're very short screws, so you hardly even need to penetrate the plastic at the top, by the way. So the fittings themselves, if you look at them, you've got one that's got a star shape in the middle. That's the control end of the blind, and you'll note by looking at the blind it's an L shape, and it's got 2 elongated holes in the bracket. They're the 2 holes that we'll be using. So what you need to do first thought is check which end is the control to the blind, and the blind on this has a control on the right hand side. So that means that the fitting with the cross needs to go on the right hand side. So all you need to do is take the fitting, the bit with the elongated holes in, place against the window like that. Go up to the top of the window. Normally leave a gap of about 6mm between the top of the bracket and the bottom of the recess there, and just mark the 2 elongated holes with a pencil. Okay, put the bracket down. Once you've done that, take your drill. You'll need a 3mm drill bit in here, and just drill through the middle of the elongated hole. Okay, that's that done. I've already drilled the top hole to save some time, because it does get a little bit boring. Then take either a screwdriver, or for speed I'm going to use the electric screwdriver, crosshead bit, which Phillips screwdriver. Take the bracket, put it into position, and put the top hole and the top screw. Okay, take the other screw. Okay, that's not going anywhere. No, it's a metal bracket. It's not going to, it's not going to deteriorate once it's got sunlight on it, which is very important if you're fitting it to the face of the window, remember. Okay, now to save time, what I've actually done, I've fitted the one at the swivel end of the blind, that's a plunger end, and then all we've got to do is take the blind. What I normally do at this stage is clear my tools off the windowsill, use a duster, get rid of all the rubbish, then start clean your hands as well, that can help. And then take the blind, and what you need to do is a couple of things. One is at the control end of the blind you've got a blue hook. Make sure the hook portion is facing down, and above the hook there should be a white tab. Okay, if the white tab is not immediately above the hook, turn it round until it soft clicks above the hook, otherwise it won't fit into the bracket. Now the other thing you need to do is the child safety portion of the chain, this bit that gives way when it's put under tension, that needs to be at the front of the blind towards the top. Okay, and I'll show you why in a second. Okay, now get up to the level of the blind. Firstly, put the blue hook and that tab into the bracket, and then with the other end depress the spring plunger. It's quite easy to do with your finger, and push it into the bracket until it locates in the hole. Right, now often at this time the blind may not be totally taut, so you can just pull it down to take any of the looseness out of it. But it's not a big deal normally, right? And then just move the blind down, pulling the chain gently. Now, as I said, you should have a clear windowsill, and of course in talking to you I haven't cleared the windowsill, but you'll see that the blind is coming down, it's level to the windowsill. If it's slightly out, because you've located the holes in the screws in the elongated hole, you've got a little bit of movement, so you can easily clip that out with your finger, that end, or use a screwdriver if you need to. Wind the blind up before you do it, you don't want it getting damaged. Okay? And just adjust the brackets to take that out of it. However, normally it's not a big problem. You'll also notice that as the blind comes down, hey presto, it's clearing the handles, and that is because it's wound the right way. It's round off front of the blind, which makes the whole thing look nicer anyway, because you haven't got a line of plain fabric interrupting the picture, which it just finishes the blind off. The other thing to notice, we talked about this, just wind this up so we've got some light in here. We talked about this child safety issue, if you look. Okay, so you've got a child safe blind, which is particularly useful if you're installing these into a kid's bedroom. They're climbing up on the cot and all that sort of thing. You don't want them getting tangled up. If you need to cut the blind chain down, do that, but make sure you don't adjust the distance between the child safety and the fitting, i.e. take it off this end, this side of the chain. Okay, otherwise it won't wind up. Now it's important, as I say, to get that in the right position, otherwise your blind won't go right to the top. Okay, if you find that it's not in the right position, just take the blind out and adjust this or swivel the blind around. It's quite easy to do until this is in the right position. Otherwise you'll find that this is at the top when the blind's halfway down. Okay, it's normally not a big deal, as I say. You'll note the integral bottom bar is solid, it's not falling out anywhere, it can't get damaged. I always advise people to take the keys out the window anyway, just in case. But you've got clearance there, and you've got blackout blind. Okay, so that's the fitting. You can see the quality of the product there. There you go. Order and fit with confidence. Thank you.